Does eating protein before bed really help you build muscle faster? Or is this just another bro science myth being passed around the gym locker room like bad cologne? You probably already know that protein is essential for muscle growth. But here's the real question. When you consume that protein, does it matter? Especially right before bed, when your body shifts gears into full-on repair mode. Today we're diving into the latest science, including a brand new 2023 study to find out whether consuming protein before sleep truly boosts muscle growth, and if so, what type of protein gives you the biggest gains while you're catching Z's. Stick around until the end because we'll also answer some of the most common myths, like whether eating before bed makes you fat, disrupts your sleep, or just leads to weird dreams about protein shakes chasing you in the night. But before we jump into the juicy details, drop a comment below with your name and the city you're watching from. It helps our community grow, and hey, it's always fun to see where our viewers are tuning in from. Now let's rewind for a second. Muscle growth doesn't happen in the gym, it begins there, but it's during recovery that the real magic happens. When you lift weights, run or cycle, you create micro tears in your muscle fibers. And during rest, with the right nutrients available, your body rebuilds those fibers, stronger, thicker, and better prepared for the next challenge. That's hypertrophy. And when is your body most focused on this repair work? You guessed it, during sleep. At night, especially in deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, testosterone, and a cocktail of other anabolic signals that literally turn your bed into a muscle-building factory. So, logically, you'd want to have amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, available during this critical window. But does that actually work? Or are you just digesting food in your sleep for no added benefit? Science has an answer. Back in 2016, a group of researchers ran a pretty clever study. They gave participants protein before bed and tracked how their bodies used it while they slept. The results were surprising. The participants didn't just digest the protein, they used those amino acids throughout the night to build new myofibrillar proteins. In simple terms, yes, they built muscle while sleeping thanks to that protein shake. This showed that the timing of protein matters, not just the total amount. Pre-sleep protein wasn't just bonus calories, it was being actively used to fuel muscle growth at the exact time the body naturally repairs itself. That study sparked a lot of excitement, and it didn't stop there. Soon after, researchers zeroed in on casein protein as the ideal pre-bed option. Why casein? Because it digests slowly. Unlike whey, which floods the bloodstream with amino acids quickly, casein releases them over several hours. That made it seem perfect for sleep, kind of like time-release muscle fuel. For years, casein was the default recommendation. You'd hear it everywhere. Down a casein shake before bed if you want to grow. But there was just one problem. No one had directly compared casein to other proteins at the same time under the same conditions until 2023. In 2023, a breakthrough study finally tested it head-to-head. 36 healthy men, all young and active, took part. They performed an intense cycling session to mimic post-workout recovery, then consumed one of three options before bed: 45 grams of whey protein, 45 grams of casein protein, or a calorie-free placebo. Researchers weren't just guessing, they measured the actual muscle protein synthesis that occurred overnight, and the results turned the casein wins theory on its head. The casein group had an 18% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to placebo. Not bad. But the whey group? A massive 35% increase, nearly double the effect of casein. Even for mitochondrial protein synthesis, important for endurance athletes, whey came out ahead. This shocked many in the sports nutrition world. But wasn't whey too fast to work overnight? Turns out speed wasn't the most important factor. Leucine was. Leucine is one of the 3 branch-chain amino acids, and it's the MVP when it comes to starting muscle growth. Think of leucine as the key that turns the ignition of your muscle-building engine. It activates a molecule called mTOR, the master switch for muscle protein synthesis. Once mTOR is on, your body starts building new muscle fibers, even in sleep mode. Whey protein contains about 10 to 12% leucine, casein roughly 8%. That difference may seem small, but it's massive when you're trying to reach the threshold needed to spark mTOR. The 2023 study showed that whey, with its higher leucine content, not only started the process, it kept it going longer than anyone expected. So yes, despite being a fast-digesting protein, whey managed to provide a sustained anabolic signal through the night. Science flipped the script. This is a big concern and it's valid. Won't eating before bed disrupt digestion, mess with sleep cycles, or make you feel bloated? Turns out, no. At least, not when we're talking about pure protein. Most studies show that protein before bed has no negative impact on sleep quality. In fact, some components in protein, like tryptophan, are actually precursors to serotonin and melatonin, two hormones that help you relax and fall asleep faster. Also, protein causes minimal spikes in insulin, especially when consumed alone. That means fewer sugar crashes and more stable blood sugar during the night. Another sleep win. If you ever had trouble sleeping after a late steak dinner, it probably had more to do with fat or portion size, not protein alone. Of course, everyone's digestive system is different. If whey bothers you, try smaller doses or different types. But for most people, it's not just safe, it may even be beneficial. What's often overlooked in all this is that protein before bed isn't just about looking jacked. There are broader benefits: improved recovery, reduced soreness, enhanced immune function, and better performance in both strength and endurance sports. Even people trying to lose fat benefit. A nighttime protein shake can preserve lean muscle during calorie deficits and help reduce late-night snack cravings by improving satiety. It's not just for bodybuilders anymore. Runners, triathletes, even regular gym goers or older adults can benefit from this strategy. So how do you actually apply this? If you're training hard, trying to build or maintain muscle, or just want to optimize recovery, pre-sleep protein is worth considering. A dose of 25 to 45 grams of a high-quality protein like whey, taken 30 minutes to 2 hours before bed, is a solid window. If you're sensitive, try a whey casein blend or a natural whole food option like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or even boiled eggs and milk. If you're vegan, look for pea or soy protein, which also have decent leucine content. And if you're cutting calories, this becomes even more important. Your body needs every edge to prevent muscle loss during sleep when you're in a fasted state. Let's crush a few final myths before we wrap up. Will it make you fat? No. Eating before bed only causes weight gain if it pushes you into a calorie surplus. It's total calories over 24 hours that matter, not timing. Does it mess with sleep? Not when it's protein. Unlike a late-night pizza, a scoop of whey won't sabotage your REM cycles. Is it only worth it if you train at night? Nope. Even if you train in the morning, your muscles are still rebuilding for the next 24-48 hours. A nighttime protein hit still helps. Do I need it if I already hit my protein goal for the day? If your daily intake is solid, you're doing great. But this tactic gives you that extra optimization, a smart strategy for advanced results. Who should absolutely consider protein before bed? People struggling to hit their daily protein goals, anyone in a calorie deficit trying to lose fat while keeping muscle, athletes or gym goers training intensely, older adults dealing with age muscle loss, bodybuilders prepping for competition who need every tiny advantage. If you fall into any of those categories, you've got zero reason not to give this a try. So what's the final word? Protein before bed isn't hype, it's science, backed. It helps you build more muscle, recover faster, sleep better, and may even keep late-night cravings in check. And guess what? Whey protein, yes, the fast one, might actually be your best ally here thanks to its high leucine content. We're constantly learning more about how nutrition timing affects muscle growth. This is just another example of how the little details can add up to big results over time. If you found this video helpful and love content that merges muscle science with real-world gains, then hit that like button, share it with your gym buddy, and be sure to subscribe. And hey, check out our next video on the screen now, where we reveal how many hours you really need to wait before training the same muscle again. You might be surprised by what the science says. Thanks for watching, and may God bless your gains.